Greetings. This is SkySaunders saying, "What's current?" It's late night. This is the first time I think I've ever done a 9 o'clock show. I think it could go well. It should go well. Let's see how many viewers we can get tonight. Trying to get to at least 1,000, maybe 1,000,000, 1,000,000,000, 1,000,000,000,000. Let's see what happens. Um, I'm talking about the Neely case, the Penny Neely case. Daniel Penny has been found not guilty on all charges, and I want to talk about that. But I want to talk about other things too. The title of this particular post is in regard to this particular situation. And one thing, I was watching a television show. I'm all Donald Trump tonight. I saw it on TV, so it must be true. It must. I mean, I saw it happen. So on the television screen, so it has to be real. But I'll give you an example, just as an open. The Yellowstone, the drama on Paramount Networks and CMT and things of that nature. It shows in its 5th season. This is after the fact. It's way after the fact of the actual chokehold on Jordan Neely. It clearly shows Casey Dutton totally immobilize a medical examiner staff by going up and put him in a chokehold. He has him in a chokehold, and he puts him in a chokehold in like 4 seconds, 5 seconds. The guy drops to the floor. Then a few minutes later, just a few minutes later, he gets up and says, "What the f?" He's totally disoriented. He's not. So that was a clear example of, I saw it on TV, so it must be real. But no, it's based in real fact. It's in truth. You can have somebody in a chokehold, have them lose consciousness, and still be alive. So he didn't have to unalive him, as the kids say nowadays. As most YouTubers say, to be safe. I don't have to say it. He killed him. He killed him. But I don't think he murdered him or caused manslaughter. What we say in the United States Marine Corps, because I am a Marine, just like Daniel Penny, not a former Marine, not an ex-Marine. He's a Marine. So he had good intentions, good initiative, bad judgment. That's the whole case. That's why he's free. That's why he's allowed to walk, because the jury saw him as somebody that had good initiative. He was trying to protect the other people around him. This guy was acting erratic and very, not normal. He was acting in a heightened state. Who is this? Tacitus Rex 89. Hey, Tacitus. I'm gonna just call you 89. All right. So hey, what's up, 89? Hey. So he was in an erratic state, and it was all bad judgment. That's the whole thing. It's not a race. It's not homelessness. It's not the synthetic marijuana in the system. It's not the trait, the sickle cell trait. It's not any of those things. It's all just in good initiative, bad judgment. His good initiative was proper. He was trying to save the people around him from this erratic guy. His bad judgment came when he didn't understand when to stop to the chokehold. Because there's a certain point where you stop the chokehold. When the person is rendered totally immobilized, that's when you stop. People coming in. Let's see. What's the topic, my friend? Okay, I'll tell you, for $10. My Cash App is $SkyLersAunders1. Anders Suarez, when did you started your channel? Another $10 question. All questions are $10, and baseline donations are $5. What the stream about just got here? Okay, so all three of you owe me. That's $30 right there. If you want me to answer your questions, I'll put up my Cash App. I should have done this earlier, but whatever. So I'm not forgiving Penny completely. I'm giving him his just due. he was right in the sense that he was taking action, but he was wrong in the sense that he had the poor sensibility to say when to stop. That was his downfall. But obviously he's okay now because he's acquitted on all charges. He would have spent 15 years for one charge and 4 years for a lesser charge. There's my Cash App. Okay, hold it. Ha ha. I'm sending $10 for a damn question. TF. Yes, you are. This is exquisite show. This expensive show. You're straight goofy. Yes, I'm goofy. I'm very goofy. I'm not. Okay. Insane, bud. Yep. I got 25 cents. Well, you can add $9.75 to that and then put it in my Cash App. We're here to support, but man, you're already asking for a bit much. Well, then please leave. I don't need you. Get out your mother's basement and get a job for $30. That was cute. Find me gainful employment. Find me the addresses. Find me the interview attire. Find me all the specifications that go along with finding for having gainful employment. Oh man, yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I'm not dumping on the. At the first time I said, you know what, he is an ex-Marine. That's the worst thing you can be called, a former Marine. Like in the media, they say former Marine because he once was a Marine. But that's one of the worst things you can be called by because once a Marine, you're always a Marine. So if you're called an ex-Marine or a former Marine, that's an insult to your status as a United States Marine Corps. Achiever. You achieved you've earned the name, the title Marine. So here we go. Man. How about I find you a girlfriend, bozo? Please find me one. Please do so. Have a good one, friend. Take care. Michael Jackson, exactly. Yes, Michael Jackson, Roy. Yeah, so I just have a few things. Marie Pettit, like I said earlier, she coined a term, chokologist. He was not a chokologist. That's for sure. He did not judge properly when to let go of Neely's neck. He just kept going. He just held it and held it and held it. Do the hee-hee. No. If you give me $150 right now, I'll do the hee-hee. And so, like I said, I got off of TV. I was watching Yellowstone, and one of the lead characters, his name, the character's name is Casey. He chokes out a medical examiner or assistant to a medical examiner, and he goes out. He puts him around, and he just falls out. And then I have zeros. I have 0 likes and 0 viewers. I'm glad. Good for you. This is going to rebroadcast land. So he knocks him out, and then he regains consciousness. That's the thing. But within minutes, like it was a good 2 or 3 minutes before, and that would have been enough time because cops are everywhere in the subway system. I understand. They're in most places. They're not too far away. Just from my experience being in the New York subway system before, they're not too far away. But this isn't a question of what we should do. We should not have more police presence. We should not have more mental health care issues looked at. We need to have more ideas about getting rid of regulations and controls and the minimum wage and different things like that, because they are the killers that really killed Mr. Neely. They are what killed him, not Daniel Penny. Daniel Penny was just an agent. He was just an agent. He just happened to dispatch this man. Like I said, good initiative, bad judgment. That's what the whole theme of this show is, because that's what we're drilled into our heads. When you have good initiative and bad judgment, that means like I saw what you were doing there, but you didn't do it quite right. You didn't do the right thing. He didn't do the right thing, and it cost a man his life, but he's not a killer. He's not a murderer. He's not a manslaughterer. He's not a manslaughterer. He's not somebody that, obviously he's been acquitted. You can't say he's a manslaughterer now. You definitely can't say it. So He had better ideas about the chokehold. Did he know when was the right time to say, okay, I gotta let go, or this guy's gonna die on me? Why didn't he have that? Why didn't he have that judgment? He had poor judgment, and it's sad because the guy died. We wouldn't be talking about this if he was still alive, most likely. So, and then of course the people outside, give me a break. I'm so tired of that no justice, no peace BS. That is complete BS. No justice, no peace. Oh, really? Have you ever heard about a guy, I don't know, what is his name? Jesus of Nazareth? Was it justice, no peace then when he could save your soul? And not your enemy's soul, or not your neighbor's soul, but your soul. So you have to be selfish. You know, he can be selfless and unselfish and sacrificial as ever, but you, oh no, you have to be selfish and say, oh, Jesus, save me from my sins. Have mercy on me. Have grace and mercy on me. No justice, no peace. That goes exactly against grace and mercy. You're supposed to have grace and mercy on Daniel Penny. That's the real mark of a God-fearing, person. Even if you're not a Christian, even though that's a Christian value, that's the whole way. That's the exact way. So the no justice, no peace has got to go. What about Jesus? Grace and mercy. You're supposed to have grace and mercy for Daniel Penny. You're supposed to say, oh no, you did a good thing, son. You did the Lord's work. The Lord was going to take him out, for sickle cell and the synthetic drug use, and it's going to be beautiful for you. It's going to be a good time for you, and you're going to go to heaven because of this. We don't even forgive you. We just say that you did the right thing, and we have grace and mercy upon you. We don't say that you're perfect. That's what grace and mercy is. You're not a perfect person, but you did something that was extraordinary. You transitioned another man's life into the afterworld, and he's up there with Michael Jackson, and they're doing the he's doing I almost did it. They're doing the I don't think who's back. Somebody's back. Roy almost get it. So you better give me my credit. You owe me $150. I'm trying not to laugh, but yeah. So he's up there with Michael Jackson, and he's doing the moonwalk with him, and they're comparing glove sizes and old noses. That's from the late great Paul Mooney. They're comparing nose sizes, and yeah. So what are you gonna say? What do you want? That's the epitome of mysticism. You can do anything and say anything you want. Oh, she's up there looking down on us, and she's so happy. Oh, he's just so proud of you on your day, and he's looking down at you shining with his smile. And really, what if they're looking up from hell? This is the late great George Carlin, looking up from hell and terrified and screaming and terrible pain. How about that? Who's to know? How do you know that everybody goes to heaven? Like every funeral I went to, they're saying like it's an implication they're going to heaven. It's implied. It's like every I've been to dozens of funerals, dozens, and I can say honestly that is the main draw of any funeral, that they're going to be in heaven, that they're going to be looking, shining down, smiling down on us, and happy about everything, and they're all right, they're fine, they're not feeling any more pain and all that. It's a bunch of BS. I'm sorry. I mean that part of it is BS. It's not even like I'm trying to go at people that are mystics or people that do believe and have faith. I respect people that actually have faith. I respect them more than agnostics. So that is the case when it comes to here. So, but this is the interesting part too. Oh my God, this part gets me. This story had a lot to do with my life. White person, turned into a Marine. I was a black person. I mean, phenotypically, I'm a limitless. I'm a man of color who happens to live in America, but I became a Marine. I earned the title Marine. So that's one thing, the Marine connection. Secondly, I've been on the New York subway system. I know what that's like. I've seen, kids. It was a hell of a lot better situation than I've seen. It's just kids going around, looking for money, dancing and listen to music, have music blasting, and they're jumping up around the poles and stuff like that. I'm like, it's kind of like some pole dancing, literally, but I don't really want to watch that kind. It was a bunch of guys. But they were very, acrobatic. They could have been in Cirque du Soleil in a better, circumstances. They could be dancing for some, traveling group or something. But instead, they chose, the New York subway system. What's up? What's going on, James Jack? You're not James Jackson, but what's up? I'm glad you're here. I got one person viewing. You can tell at least 200 other people to get into this live, and then I'll really respect you. I still have respect for you, but I would almost like you. I would almost have admiration for you. If you got 200 people in this live jumping right now, that would be insane. So anyway, yeah. So and then the homeless thing. I was homeless from 2011 to 2013. I was officially homeless. But it's a weird thing because it's like, you're not homeless. You have a home. I had a home. It's where I am right now. I'm back at home. I was houseless. I was residentially challenged. Can we see your pill collection? No, if you send me $200 in Cash App, or or if you want my PayPal or Venmo, I'll show it. I'll show the whole thing if you do that right now in this second. Oh, you missed a second. I guess can't. So so Marine, homeless, subway system, happens to be a man of color. This story, really hit me. I was like, okay, I can relate to this on different levels. But this is my question about the father. Where does he live? What is his living arrangement? Why did he not take in his son? Why was he so, so very saddened and low, and felt like he took a big blow didn't mean to rhyme right there, but I did, to his son's death and the outcome of the trial. Why was he so, oh my God, my son, I can't believe it, I'm hurt, I'm lost, I don't know what's going on. Why didn't you take him in? Why was he homeless? Same thing with the Uncle Christopher. Uncle Christopher, why didn't you say, hey, come on over to my house, you'll be all right, come into my apartment, I set up a place for you, you can be over here in the corner, you have meals and stuff like that, I'm gonna help you find a job, a place of employment. That's what I'm talking about. You should write a book on your life. Well, I actually have written a book on my life, actually. I only got money for bills, taxes. I'll send you a few subs for a wrench. Yeah, I'll give you a wrench for if you can verify the subs, their names and their web addresses. I'll give you a wrench. It's either money or bodies. That's how I put it. Money or bodies. Or really eyes and ears, but eyes and or ears. So I think it is I didn't notice it. I didn't notice it. Anybody talking about that? The father, where does he live? Where does he live? And why didn't Neely, I keep forgetting his goddamn name. Something Neely. Jordan Neely. Why wasn't Jordan Neely in his father's house? Why is nobody talking about that? Why was he homeless? I hate the term homeless. I like the term houseless. Houseless is the right word because I'm technically houseless. I live in a home. I live in a place that I can call home, but I don't have a house. I don't have a mortgage. I don't pay rent. I pay for utilities. That's it. Why wasn't he housed? Why wasn't he in a program to help him, get on the right foot? And they keep showing the Michael Jackson poses and all the dances and stuff like that, trying to humanize him, of course, trying to make him seem like some perfect angel guy like they always do. They show him with their graduation form, gown on, holding the scroll, and show him with the hoodie, and like he's cool, and then they showed him with the middle fingers up. Wizard salute. Did you get a nap in? Yes, I did get a nap in earlier. No, actually, I can't. I honestly can't remember if I got a nap in because I had to go out. I went out shopping, and I'll talk about this later on in the program. That cranberry orange drink from Starbucks, fire, straight fire. If you like alcohol, if you do alcohol, I don't do alcohol, but if you do alcohol and you mix that with some vodka or gin, you got fire. That thing is the truth. We'll talk about it later, maybe in the second half. Later in the second half. So, but a salute to you, Wizard. Appreciate you, sir. Make sure you get 200 people in this live. Thank you for the like. I appreciate the like. Thank you, sir. The money spent on the Mexicans can go to the homeless. No. Not the money spent on the Mexicans. No. Spend it on the Mexicans. Spend it on the Mexicans who want to work and live here and make and make something of their lives. We need to get rid of controls and regulations. Government controls and regulations. There should be private controls and regulations, but not government controls and regulations. They impede everything in progress. They impede the will for people to create and to build and to produce and do things that are wonderful and great and beautiful. They stop things. And then later on, we'll see that, oh, well, we got rid of the regulations and controls. Now we can get rid of income taxes. That's the next step. First is regulations and controls, then it's income taxes. You out of touch. They drinking tequila now. Are you talking about mixing it with the drink? Anybody with vodka and gin are still the ish. Gin is my favorite drink, my favorite white drink. Well, it was my favorite white drink. My favorite brown drink was whiskey, was Jack Daniels. That was my favorite brown. My favorite white was Bombay Sapphire. Just put the fries in the bag, bro. See, I laugh at stuff like that. I can laugh at that. That's funny. That's actually good. I like you using your brain, you using your mind. Newbie Loki. I heard they getting rid of Section 8. Well, get rid of Section 8. Get rid of Section 8. You don't need Section 8. You need to get rid of regulations and controls. That's what killed Mr. Jordan Neely. God damn it. These names aren't... I don't know. It's Penny and Neely. It shouldn't be that hard. But I keep thinking... But his death is because of government controls. Government regulations. Like I said, people say, oh, we need more police presence. No, we don't. We don't need police presence. Because what happened with George Floyd? That was a police officer. It was a similar fashion. His was obviously worse. He was convicted. And is probably going to spend the rest of his worthless life in prison. But I can't say the same thing for Penny. And I'm not saying that just because he's a Marine. I say, like I said, he had good initiative and bad judgment. That's something that we hear all the time when you're a Marine. You want to have good initiative and good judgment. You want to have everything lined up. He had it lopsided. Good initiative, bad judgment. That's as simple as you can frame it. It's a serious case because, there was uproar in New York City. There's uproar in the streets. People, no justice, no peace. I can't wait. I can't wait till they get to church. No justice, no peace. Oh, wait a minute. Grace and mercy, right? Right? It's like Monday through Saturday is no justice, no peace. No Sunday morning. Oh, grace and mercy, grace and mercy, grace and mercy, grace and mercy, grace and mercy. That sounds better, right? Doesn't that sound right? Grace and mercy. We were just saying no justice, no peace. I mean, we meant it, but we have all these sins, and we're terrible people. We're awful, and we do things that aren't right. It's no justice, no peace over here, but over here it's got to be no, grace and mercy. Grace and mercy, grace and mercy for Daniel Penny, grace and mercy for him. Okay, it's Sunday. Then Monday, oh, Daniel Penny's the worst human being of all time. No justice, no peace. I used to drink Bombay because the Wiz Khalifa-ish was horrible, but the bottle was beautiful. Yeah, they have beautiful blue bottles, but it's great. What are you talking about? It's horrible. You're out of your mind. It is the just the juniper and the different. I think they're cloves. They might not be cloves, but I think it's juniper, berries, and stuff like that. You can really taste it, and you put it in the freezer, and you take that mug out, put it in the glass. You're good for a Friday night. You're good for a Saturday night. You're good for Sunday night. You're good for a Tuesday night. But they do that when it's black on black crime. Yeah, exactly. When it's black on white crime, it's white on black crime. This isn't about race. This really is not about race. This is about regulations and controls. Because if you had regulations and controls lifted, if you could just start a business with one sheet of paper that says, look, I want to start a business and I want to start it now, there'll be hardly any more crime. There'll be hardly any more. I don't want to say there will be no crime. That might be, overstepping the boundaries of logic and human behavior. But there'll be very few criminals. There'll be very few criminals stalking the world. Very few. Very few criminals. This is regulations and controls here, kids. This is all because of regulations and controls. He could have started his own company. I'm talking about Jordan Neely. Jordan Neely could have started his own dance company. He could have been like the Michael Jackson of New York City. He could have brought him back to life. Copyrights could have been passed, and he would have been able to do that for money, and he would probably be made millions of dollars, or maybe billions of dollars. Who knows? That's so beautiful about the free market. That's what's so wonderful about the free market, is that you're able to see just what you can possibly do in real life. But government controls and regulations, no. You've got to go through all these hoops and bounds. You got to have these 300 pages of litigation, and in case this goes through, just like us, everybody here, everybody on this channel, myself included, we see the agreements for our phones, our devices, and everything. We're just like, oh yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't care, but you should care. We should care. I should care. I don't. I mean, I could and I would and I should, but I don't, because I'm being honest. I'm telling you the truth. I just skim past all that writing and that legalese, because that's to protect themselves more so than to protect you. And it's just like ridiculous. I mean, sometimes certain things I do read, and understand the different terms and conditions. For things I'm getting money from, I read the terms and conditions really closely. Like vocal.media, my other site for you to check out. Type in SKYLERSAUNDERS to look at my stories. That's something that I always do, and it's very harsh. It's hard for me because my attention span is like that of a gnat. It's hard for me to follow certain things. It's like, do you agree to the terms that say that certain things are prohibited and we can only prosecute this much? And it's like my brain is like fried after a few sentences. Like I can't handle it, but I do struggle through it. I struggle through it, and I get to the end, and I say I agree, and now I can go in and have fun. That's the point. But That is the reality of showing how we're supposed to be more vigilant over ourselves. So, like I said, there's a lot of things that go into this Penny Neely case. Marines, black people and white people, the New York subway system, crime, drug use, people being houseless or residentially challenged. Like I said, I coined that actually. I don't think I've ever heard that before. But you're residentially challenged. That's the reality of it all. So that's what I think about all of this. It's very it's very sad. It's a sad situation, and it's all because of regulations and controls. It's all I can think. It's all it is. It's not race. It's not military background. It's not drug usage. It's not any of these things. It's not I mean it's bad. It's good initiative, bad judgment. That's what I'm saying. That's the theme of this show, of this particular episode. But it's really a concern of being terrible, 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 terrible truth that nobody talks about. Nobody says that. Nobody says regulations and controls. It's just as bad as Social Security and Medicare. You can't tell about regulations and controls. Oh well, if we don't have the FAA, the airplanes will fall from the sky. Oh, if we don't have OSHA, people will be hurt on the job and not get workman's compensation, which is private as much as I understand. I may be incorrect, but let me just do some research because just comes fine on my. Could be wrong. It went back to in the United States. The first workers' compensation law was adopted in Wisconsin in 1911, so it's a law. But I don't think it should be a law. Shouldn't be a law. It's not even like a regulation or a control, but it's a law, and it should only be it should be applied, to private means and government means as well, but not a law. It should be instituted as a condition. So I have one person and one like so far. I mean, thus far. That light is so bright. Oh my god! But I need it for my face because it's a little crazy if I don't have it. So I'm blinking so much. Everybody says, "Oh, you blink, blinkety, blink, blink, blink." I know. But yeah, Penny. He was rational when he speaks. He's very telling it like it. He's like, I didn't see a black man. I saw a man menacing. I'm paraphrasing, but menacing and acting erratic. That's what I saw. He didn't see a black man. I just had those two questions. The father and the uncle. The father was so distraught, so sad. Why didn't he take his son in? Why was he even on like that level of taking synthetic drugs or anything like that? Which is okay for me. I don't. If you want to do drugs and not harm anybody, that's fine. But why didn't he have it in his house, in his home? Why didn't he not have him home? Why instead of being homeless? I guess that's why they get the term. You could have been home, but you were homeless. I say residentially challenged or houseless. Houseless is probably the best one. It's still two syllables, and it cuts right to the chase. Because you have a house, you're less. You don't have a house. It's that simple. But you're homeless is weird because you probably still have a home, but you can't really live there anymore because something happened or something didn't go your way, somebody's way or something like that. And so you're essentially, a vagabond or a vagrant, um, and you have to fend for yourself in a sense. I didn't hear any of that. I didn't hear any of that. I didn't hear anything about his father taking him in. That's all I saw. Oh, he lost his son. That's sad. That's sad. He lost his son. But at the same time, we have to understand that saying no justice, no peace is just complete BS. No justice, no peace is BS all the way. There may be a circumstance, I can't think of any, where it's proper to say no justice, no peace. But, like as I'm saying, I doubt that there is actually a specific time frame for us to yell no justice, no peace. And Uncle Christopher, what was your house? Why don't you open your doors to Jordan? Why don't you say, hey, come on in, nephew. You can live with me. You can't live with your dad? That's all right. You can live with me. But Uncle Christopher was distraught too. He was upset at the ruling of the jury. I still think it's amazing how, it just if he had just held him just a few I don't know if it was a minute or a few minutes, but a few seconds or a few minutes less, and we wouldn't even be having this conversation, because he would have been unconscious. The cops would have came in, put slammed, handcuffs on him, and this is what I'm talking about too. Look at Diddy. Look, I'm not trying to turn this into a Diddy show, but I'm technically turning it into a Diddy show. He's eating, literally. He's having people fold his clothes. They're sweeping and mopping his floors. He's living a good life in the present. And this is what's weird too about what Jordan Neely said. He said that he's not afraid to go back to jail. That he could hurt anybody or whatever the case is, and that he could do it. And is that the best place for him? Jail? Prison? It's warm in the winter and cool in the summer. You get full course meals, 3 hots and a cot. I don't understand. I'm still trying to contemplate that. What is the best way to be concerned about that? How do you do that? How do you think about what it is you mean? How do you do that? That's the questions for tonight. Those are the big questions that have to be answered. Because that wasn't instilled in us in the Marine Corps, to just randomly kill civilians. There must have been a reason. There must have been some kind of truth to it. There must have been something of reality. Now, I'm not letting this white boy off the hook saying he was a perfect man. He's not. Like I said, good initiative, bad judgment. But he had the initiative. The initiative was to neutralize the threat. That was it. And he did that. However, this is the bad judgment. He held on for way too long. Way too much force being put on the man's neck. That's the reality. Thanks for the second like. Appreciate 2 likes. Two people in here, 2 likes. I'm not mad. It's late night. It's late night. But like I said, it's all regulations and controls. If there were so many different ways that we could possibly do things without regulations and controls. This would be a much freer, happier, cleaner place to be. Ha, Texas. Go back to Jesus, of course. Salute to you, sir. Salute to you. God bless Daniel Penny. Yeah, there is no God, but God bless Daniel Penny. Yeah, and God bless Jordan Neely, too. He didn't have to die. But I'm glad that Daniel Penny did what he did. Like I said, the initiative was there. The judgment was gone. He had terrible judgment. Horrible judgment that cost a man his life. But it's good initiative. Good initiative. You have to give him credit for that. Good initiative. Bad judgment. Horrible judgment. Terrible judgment. Just awful. So you can say God bless, Daniel Penny, but I'm just glad that this has finally been resolved. He can go on with his life. He may be in danger from certain people. Somebody might want to do retribution against him. I'm not wishing that upon him. I'm just saying that there are, this is a very divisive, and rancorous and malicious, mood that's, arisen ever since this whole matter started. So, like I said, I'm like President-elect Trump. He said he saw it on TV, so it must be true, I saw it on TV. Yellowstone, season 5. I think it was episode 11 or 12, and he literally choked out a guy in a medical examining room, and the guy woke up like 2 or 3 minutes later. That's what should have happened. It didn't happen. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. But I don't use woulda, coulda, shoulda. But most people do. Oh, I shoulda. I think Penny probably feels this way too. I mean, he didn't want to hurt the guy, but he wanted to make sure the other people were safe. He just didn't have the right thinking to say, okay, all right, this is enough. The guy's, he's completely incapacitated. He's completely immobilized. Yellowstone is What? Texas, are you serious? Are you just trying to troll? Are you trolling right now, sir? Yellowstone has gotten fire. It's either very good or excellent so far. I've been reviewing it every week. Every week it comes on. Yellowstone is the truth. Especially season 5. Season 5 is twists and turns and humor and sadness and all kinds of different feels, as the kids say. They got rid of my guy. Are you talking about Kobe or John Dutton? You talking about John Dutton? Talking about Kevin Costner's character? Or Denham Richards' character? Who you talking about? Who is your guy? My favorite character is still Rip. Rip is my guy. John Dutton. Okay, I was wondering. Okay. Yeah, John Dutton. Something tells me he's going to come back. I'm stupid. I just think they didn't show his body. They didn't completely show him in the face, And because he got his, face blown off. He shot him in the face when they were doing that. Well, okay. But I still haven't seen Kevin Costner's face. Or even his profile. You still pretty much see a profile, even on one side of the face, if not the other. And Jordan Neely decided his life was going to end that day. I honestly believe that. I think that he could have. This could have been suicide by citizen. Does anybody ever talk about that? This could have been suicide, not by a cop, but by a citizen. And that's the reason why he didn't struggle. He didn't struggle too much. I think he struggled at the beginning, but you know, when his life was slipping away from him, he couldn't do anything. He just floated away. I don't mean that mystically. I'm just saying, he didn't have anything left of him. Neely chose to die that day. I think he said he wanted to die. He didn't know how, but he was going to provoke somebody to do it, and it just happened to be a trained Marine. We were trained in combat. We're trained in physical, altercations, physical fitness tests, and warrior training. And he had all that knowledge within him, and we call it muscle memory. We call it muscle memory to when this all comes back to you in your mind, even though you may not have trained in months or years, it comes back and it's not. You automatically know what to do. He knew what to do. He knew what to do. Good initiative. He knew he had to neutralize the threat. And like I said, the other people, the other witnesses said he was acting erratic. He was acting, crazy, as you could say, that's not an official term. That's not a medical or descriptive term, but it's the closest thing we can say, for as a layman. He was acting very, untoward everybody. But this could have been suicide by citizen. Does anybody else talk about? Is this new? Let me see if there's suicide by citizen. Suicide by citizen. Nope, it's not showing it. But this has to be it. This has to be something. This has to be the truth. Suicide by a citizen. Now everybody can understand. Oh, well, suicide by cop. The guy, shows his gun, and then raises it towards the cops, and they knock it, and they shoot him down. Okay, that's suicide by cop. But what if there was? What if there was? Because he wasn't he wasn't even like George Floyd. George Floyd struggled for his life. He struggled. He's like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Neely didn't even say that. Neely could, he had oh my God, Chauvin had his knee on George Floyd's neck, and he said he can't breathe. He was on his back, actually. He was on his back, and he couldn't breathe. He was obstructing his airways. But in this case, Neely just fell back. Let me go, Not let me go, but Random prediction and off topic. Biden is going to give Dr. Fauci a pardon. Well, is Dr. Fauci in prison? Dr. Fauci's not in prison. What are you talking about? But I appreciate you for saying, random prediction and off topic. Because we can go off topic for a little bit. What's with Dr. Fauci? Fauci is not in prison. What are you talking about? You can't pardon somebody unless I'm pardoned. He's not in prison. So don't have to be in prison to get a pardon. Oh, hey, my dumb ass. See, I'm gonna take your word for it, sir. I'm gonna take your word for it. What are you pardoning him for? What, and in what way is he being punished that he needs to be pardoned? Let me know that, please. What? Pardon Fauci and Cheney. What is this? I'm stupid. I didn't know this. I didn't know about this. this is coming from USA Today. Trump has threatened legal action against many of his political opponents, from former Wyoming Representative Liz Cheney to Senator-elect Adam Schiff of California. It's unclear whether Trump would follow through on his campaign rhetoric, but his pick of Kash Patel to direct the FBI, in addition to the threats, has caused some Democrats to advocate for pre-pardons. Dr. Anthony Fauci, okay. Republican lawmakers have frequently asked Dr. Anthony Fauci for his work during, attacked Dr. Anthony Fauci for his work during the COVID-19 pandemic. At a contentious hearing over the COVID-19 response in June, Republicans accused him of helping fund Chinese government efforts to create the virus, hiding medical data about the pandemic, and making U.S. guidelines, all of which Fauci said was not true. At the same hearing, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, Republican of Georgia, refused to call Fauci doctor and said he deserved to be in prison before being escorted out of the chamber. Fauci said he and his family have received threats throughout the pandemic, including death threats. Okay. So it's not like he's behind bars or anything, or ready to be behind bars. It's not like he's up for a trial. I don't know. But that's interesting. You don't have to be in prison to get a pardon. I guess the pardon is like a pre-pardon. Is that what that is? Is that what they're talking about? Pre-pardons, like before you can get a chance to have him go before a judge and jury. He can pre-pardon him. I don't know. I've never heard of such. But getting back to the story at hand, I still think that it's because of regulations and controls. If we just had the opportunity to say that EPA, DEA, FDA, OSHA, NOAA, and so many other alphabet soup organizations were completely eliminated, we would have a better world. And then we get rid of regulations and controls. Then we institute the laws for no income taxes. No state, no city, no government income taxes. You get to keep your money. That would be a beautiful day. We can get there. I don't think it'd be too hard. If we get, sometimes they say it's better to go in, or it's easier to go in than get out. That could be true in some circumstances, but we still have to get out. We have to get out of this. The income tax didn't start until, I think, 1913. The federal income tax, anyway. The federal income tax didn't start until 1913 or 1914. And it's like, if it was instituted, it can be eliminated. Because this is the reason why Jordan Neely died. Because he wasn't given the opportunity to explore his own potential. He didn't live up to his own potential. And Penny neutralized him as a threat. He was a threat to the people around him. He was a threat to the people that he encountered on that train that day. That's the sad part. That's the really sad part. Is that he didn't get the opportunity to be a full-fledged human being. He didn't get the chance to really actualize himself. And Penny, like I said, can't give the white boy a pass. Like I said, he exhibited good initiative, bad judgment. At the same time, if you look at the initiative, you can see why he did what he did. You can see the reason why. He was trained. He said, I have to do something. I mean, you can say, nosy white people getting in the affairs of a black man's business, but what if that black man was a menace? What if he was a problem? What if he was something that was against reason? What do you do then? What do you do when you have someone that is completely, seemingly psychotic? He's schizophrenic. He's yelling. He's throwing his jacket. He doesn't look like the pictures that they keep showing with the Michael Jackson costume and everything. What is that about? What does that amount to? How is that created? What does that mean? What does it mean when you have a trained Marine knowing that you have to take initiative, knowing that you have to do something? Because if you just sat there, could you just hypothetically speaking, we don't do hypotheticals, but I'm going to just do a quick one right now. Just imagine if he saw him, smack a woman, spit in her face, throw her to the ground, and try to rape her. He didn't see that. And I'm not saying that that Neely was guilty of that or anything like that. But he neutralized the situation. He neutralized the situation. That was powerful. Exactly. He did what I was trained to do, exactly what he did. Good initiative, bad judgment. Just that simple. Good initiative, bad judgment. Because we were trained to do that. We were trained to render somebody unconscious. We didn't even go that far. We just, you hold out your arms. You hold out your arms. You hold out your arms. Then you go over and you apply pressure until the other person tap. Really, that's what we did. We tapped. We tapped out because it was about to restrict our capacity to have consciousness. So we tapped out. We tapped out. So Danny Penny, as they call him, I think his name is Daniel Penny. He did what he was trained to do. He just, something in his head said, I have to do something now, or this could end up badly for him or the other people around him. It ended up badly for Neely, unfortunately. But he had to take initiative. It was bad judgment, but I'm still leaning on the initiative because he's a free man. He's a guiltless man. He's not guilty. If he was guilty, I'd be dumping on him. That's the way it goes. But he's not guilty. It has nothing to do even with his military. Well, it has somewhat to do with military, but it doesn't have race, class, mental health, or housing to do with it. So I'd like to thank you for tuning in to this hour-long special coming in real late night on Monday. So I would appreciate if everyone, let me see, I'm going to try to go through everybody that came in because people came in real quick and then left. Let's see, 89 came in, Smiley World, Anders Suarez, Newbie Loki, Roy Kingery, James Jackson, Wizard, of course, my main man Wizard. I didn't even see Keith. I just saw, no, it wasn't Keith. Oh, excuse me. I thought that was Keith. And of course, Texas, he chimed in. He was the last person to roll with me. So salute to you, Texas, sir. I appreciate you. Tell 200 people about me, but don't tell 300. Let them guess who I might be. Thank you very much, and take care.